Hi, sis.
My
Can you
sister.
please let me know if you can hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Don't worry. I'm a minute.
Okay. So I just wanted to confirm that everything is working so that we can start.
Then my mic is on mute.
It's muted, but you can unmute it. Unmute it. Yeah, you can unmute it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. I can hear you now. No, unmute it. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you very much again. Thank you very much for agreeing. Said you can see me well, right?
Yeah, I can see you, but it's on standby. What's going on? Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Very well.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so thank you very much again for agreeing to do this. Like I said, it's a huge it's a very huge honor for me to host you on this our novel mentorship, online mentorship, and I'm very
Mm,
grateful. Yeah, so as usual, this is our online mentorship section, and this is for the month of June. So we started this section in March this year. Started in March this year. So this is like the third one, the third segment of it, and it's mostly for women. So if you're joining us for the first time, it's mostly for women because, of course, Sisters Alive Foundation is for the girl child. Yeah, so we are doing it for the adults as the women and the girls as well. But to be honest, right from the first day at March and the one we did in April. In April, the segment was held on Facebook. Yeah, and this particular one, I'm sure it's not just for women because you know how knowledge can be. Most times, the knowledge we see or we get all over the place is not gender specific, so anybody can learn from it. So it's not just for women; men as well can benefit from this section. Yeah. So and as usual, my name is Ebere Onwe, and this section is a product of Sisters Alive Foundation, an NGO um, that was founded for teenage girls in the local communities, teenage girls in underserved communities who do not have support, who really, really want to thrive in life. Maybe they just want to go to school or they want to learn a skill, they want to do a business, but they just really want to, get out of um, the boundaries, the confines of the environment they were bettered in, mostly poverty and all the cultural limitations, the hardship and all that is confining them to a place and stopping them from becoming the best version of themselves. So what we do is we render support to girls like this and we try to help them get to that point they want to get to in life, become better versions of themselves, contribute to their family, become more youthful members of their community. Yeah, so and today we are talking about women, right? So we are mostly talking about women, what it truly means to be a woman, especially in Nigeria, in Africa. So what it really, really means, the realities and yeah, everything. So we have a lot of things to talk about today, and I'm really hoping that you know we will do this in the shortest time possible so that the section will not be too long. Because most times when people see sections that are too long, they tend to shy away from viewing it. Yeah, so that's that. I would really like you, our very special guest, to introduce yourself. Let us know who you are. Just tell us about you. Let's meet
okay. My name is Ozioma. Okay, Carlo. I'm from Okuzu in Anambra State, and I'm a lecturer. And I
Okay.
have two children, two boys, and I'm a single mom. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. And like I said again, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you. Yeah, so let's dive right in. So how has the journey been being a woman? How has it been? Like, when we are kids, right? We all have dreams of everything. We have dreams of our wedding day, we have dreams of our families, we have dreams of career, things
Yeah.
and all those things we envision. Yeah. So how has it been being a woman? Is it the same thing you've always, dreamt of? Is it the same thing you've always wished your life would turn out to be? Is it exactly what it is now?
Anyway, in I don't know if I can say African society, or let me say in Igbo society anyway, a woman is not expected to dream so high.
Yeah.
Your dream is supposed to be limited. You're supposed to be ambitious. Let me just say it that way. So as a child, we were raised to be a lady. You don't have to have this kind of ambition where you maybe have to compete with men. So, but as we, continue with our education, let's say in higher institution, we notice that we need to break the barrier. You understand? So we start struggling. But then, while growing up, let me be honest, we didn't really have that dream of going the extra mile. Most of the dreams we had was, grow up to be rich. Maybe not you being rich, you marry a rich man. Nobody is teaching you to make your riches. So you just grow up to be somebody, you have respect, you are hardworking, and the rich man marries you. And you go into your husband's house, you continue with your riches, and there is really no plan of what you are going to do. What are you going to be? Yes, you get married, you move into your husband's house. What then? Our dream ends there. But when we are like in the university, that's when we realize that we need to start dreaming, we need to start planning. But by then, it was, let me say, the foundation wasn't strong. So we found ourselves struggling, like directionless. Finished university, went for service, came out. What next? We started struggling. Anyway, you see, they are recruiting, whether you are qualified or not, you drop CV, you go for tests, and you understand. So it was much, much later in life with much mistakes here and there that we now had to, people like me now had to start making changes, and started planning for myself. So, will I say the dream I have as a child? Actually, there's no dream, no direction. So I grew up to make my own dream. That's it. That's my own reality anyway. Yeah.
Okay, so how has the journey been so far? Has it been
The journey
cool?
it's easy and it's not easy. Why I say it's easy? Being a woman, people don't really expect so much from you. It's not like this one, what can she offer? So if they are giving you a job or anything, they are not, how will I say, the expectation from you is not so high. So most of the times, anything you like bring out, they will go like, it's not a woman, you know. So it's easy on that aspect, in that you don't have to walk overboard to impress a client or your boss. But then the journey of a woman is filled with obstacles. The journey of a woman through her career path is filled with obstacles. In the first place, like I said, people don't expect much from you. That means if there is a position that you can handle, but because you're a woman and they look at you, they'll go like, no, we won't give it to her, even if you can do it. And it breaks a woman not being trusted to handle a position, to handle a job. So we have that bias, and we are still trying to break it. It's not easy for people to trust us to handle things. It's not like a woman go and be a teacher That's the only thing you can do. You understand? So it is not easy, but it's easy somehow. But somehow we are breaking it.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Because I was about to point that thing out. You know, when you said that women, because people don't have a lot of expectations of you, so you don't really have
Yes.
to do a lot to impress anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I already knew that there's definitely a downside to it, because
Of
then that
course.
means when there are bigger opportunities, then I
They
mean
don't remember you.
nobody's calling you to do anything.
They don't
All
trust
right,
you.
so they
Even
don't.
if yeah, even if your boss goes like, yeah, at least I've tested this person, I am sure she can do it. Other people will go like, are you sure? There is always, especially in a big establishment where the board has to decide. The one person doesn't have to make a decision. If the person that has worked with you and seen your credibility cannot give you that job, but must pass through a board, it becomes difficult because the board will always go like, no, as this is my own experience, okay? I've had it several places. Most of the times, it may be that person that knows you. Maybe the board will select someone that will now mess it up. And then that's when the board will now go like, okay, this person, I bring this woman, let's see. And by then, when you come back, you now start fixing something that has been messed up. And that is more difficult. When you start something, you start it in your own way. But when somebody has already made a mess of it, you come, you try to fix that mess, and then you now try to show the board that, no, I can do this. So it is actually a problem. So most of the times when you don't see women in positions, it's not as if there's this natural thing of, no, a woman should stay in the kitchen. No, but there's this trust issue that most people don't trust that a woman can do things. And sometimes I don't blame them, because when women actually come and mess things up, of course, it's on both sides. It's not just about being a woman. You understand? So they will look at you after all. Like one of my bosses told me, when you make up, you wake up in the morning, you spend hours before the mirror, you are making up. What time do you have to do anything? You understand? He will look at my jewelry and say, you wear this one, you wear this. Oh, so man, you don't have time to do anything. But then you're making up, looking good doesn't affect delivering a job. You understand? Yes, a woman shouldn't like because they will not trust that I can do the job. Let me look, no. So anyway, that is part of the problem women have. But gradually, like I said, we are breaking it bit by bit, but it's still a long way. Still have a long way to go.
Yeah, so there's something I just wanted to point out, right? I feel this thing is like a ripple effect. Okay, when
Okay.
you said that most of us grew up not having ambitions as women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yes.
because when you said that, it really reminded me of when I was growing up. So to be honest, I didn't know what I wanted to do in my life,
Yeah.
right? And it's not right. It's
It
not
is.
right. But
No.
the thing is, I think it's the environment, right? And the conditioning that women don't really, I mean, it's just
It's
your
a
husband.
culture.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
husband's money is your money. So I didn't really have a
Exactly.
lot of I didn't really have a lot of ambition growing up. It was like you said again, when I was in the university, that and I started thinking about my life and observing that I
Mm-hmm.
had this passion and all these desires and stuff. And then
Yes.
even when you share them with people, they feel like, you are dreaming too much. You should be taking it
Yes.
easy.
That you should
Yeah.
relax. Yeah, what is it? You like
Take it
stressing
easy.
out. People, even up to now, people still say,
Yeah.
people like, relax. You're a woman. Let man take care of you. You understand? And I
Yeah.
don't know. It's more like it's something that is cultural. It's culture anyway, and I think it's all over the world. You
Yeah. Well,
understand? Because when you see the
it
people
shouldn't
from
be like
different
that.
parts, yeah.
It shouldn't be like that. And like I said, it's a ripple effect. And as a result of this now, a lot of women are under delivering, right?
Yeah.
Because naturally women are gifted. Women are a lot more smarter than men.
Matter.
The natural woman is smarter, and the natural woman can what's the word again? Multitask. They can do a lot
Yes,
of things at the
yes.
same
We
and
have
do it
the
and do
natural
it
gift.
effectively. Yeah, and do it effectively. Yeah, so but because of this bias and the
Mm-hmm.
conditioning that the environment has put inside of us, most of us are beginning to deliver less than our normal capacity, when we should be able to deliver.
Yes.
And you see
Yes.
that as a result of that, a lot of women, like you said you don't blame them anyway. Most women come into the environment, into the
Most
system, and
women do that.
yeah,
Yes.
and it's because, like I said, because of this thing that is happening, right? Because most of them
Mm-hmm.
has grown up to understand that they don't really need to do a lot. After all, I'm a
They don't need
woman,
to get it.
right?
Yes, they might
Not
do
knowing
it.
that, they have the innate capacity to even deliver better than an average man can deliver,
Sure.
right? So,
Yes.
and
Mm-hmm.
as a result of this, like I said, it's a ripple effect. As a result of this thing that a lot of women are doing in the system, messing up the system. Now,
Mm-hmm.
women who really want to work hard now have to
Mm-hmm.
work extra hard to prove themselves.
To prove themselves.
So,
And
yeah, so
most of
they
the
now have
time,
to work extra hard. Yeah.
sometimes
So,
even if you work so hard, you know, there will still be this reservation towards you, no matter what. And
because you're a woman.
sometimes, yes. Sometimes, they may even look at like somebody told me then, where was it? One man was like, no, how can I give you this kind of job now? You are a woman, go back to your home, manage your home. That's your primary duty. You understand?
Yeah.
So men felt that, yes, how can I deny my fellow man his wife? How can these children stay without their mother? We have a lot of problem, a lot of obstacles. I don't want to look at it as a problem, but let me just say obstacles that we have to clear to, you know,
Yeah.
move to the other side here.
Okay, that's okay. uh Thankfully we are doing something. People like you are breaking the
Mm,
bias in your sector as
yeah.
well. Yeah. So one step at a time, eventually. Yeah,
It's a
so that's
gradual thing.
that for being a woman, right? So we've seen that there are challenges, right? It's not easy. Just like someone dropped the comments here, the person said that the reality of womanhood is really tough, right?
It
The,
is.
expect, the expectations are high. The expectations are really, really high, right? So, and so let's talk about being a mother. So how has
Mm-hmm.
motherhood? One of the things I know that also makes being a woman difficult, I feel, should be, motherhood. I
What
know I've seen people say before they give you a job, they ask you, do you have any plans of getting pregnant? Do you have any, are you married? All those
Mm-hmm.
questions in between. Yeah, so I want to hear from you, your own personal experience. How has it been? Has it derailed your life in any way, being a mother? Um,
Yeah.
has it changed who you are? What effect has it had on you generally?
As they had. Okay.
Has it had on you
Um,
generally?
For instance, you can see one of my son open the door as he wanted to come in. I don't know why he wants to come out because this is like a private room for me, but he just wants to come and disturb. So it's one of the things you don't. Once you become pregnant, everything about you changes. You don't eat
Yeah,
the way you eat before. If maybe you are the one that takes alcohol, you drop it. If you smoke,
yeah,
you drop it. If you like fatty food, you change it. You understand? You now
yeah,
eat for when they say eat for two doesn't mean you eat in large quantity. It means that you eat considering that child.
yeah,
And then when the child comes out, any plan you have, financial, emotional, going out, social, everything about you changes because that child becomes like your third leg that you cannot get rid of. So everything
yeah,
about you comes to a halt, and then you now start replanning. You have to first of all slow down. That's why they give women maternity leave. Not just about you taking care of the child. You probably need to replan your life because a lot of things, as you find out, you can't do things anymore the way you are. So you have to slow down and now start replanning. You want to do this. Will it affect the child? Yes, you leave it. You want to do this. Will it affect the child? We can manage. You do it. You understand? For instance, now there was a time I was looking for part-time lecturing, which is for night school. And I know that if I'm going, either I go with these boys or I leave them in the house. So I have to leave that job. You understand? So it is a problem. You wake up when others are sleeping, even if you are tired, you have to jump out of the bed early in the morning to prepare for them. And by the time you prepare for them, you make sure they are in school before you start going for your own job. Maybe by then you have not even taken your bath, you come back, you bathe, and you now start going. So a man will just wake up, put on his clothes, and is out of the house. But a woman, you dare not do that. You have to wait, settle them. And then wherever you are, school dismisses, you start running back to pick them. There was then
Yeah.
that if I have to come back maybe 4, 5 to pick these boys, and the small one will be crying. It will be as if you have abandoned them, and the school will not be happy. So you find out that whatever
Yeah.
you are doing, it is time to go and pick them. You run back and pick them. So your life is now planned around your children, and for your career to move as it was when you are single before you became a mother is not possible. Unless
Yeah.
maybe you are the type that has a lot of help, like some people that are lucky that have their mothers with them, have trusted sister that somebody that you trusted that can do to these children what you can do for them. Yes, you can continue with where you are. But if not, no, you slow down. You must slow down and start crawling until they are of age. They can take care of themselves, they can do one or two things for themselves. You now start increasing your pace. But the only thing there
Yeah.
is that if you stop entirely, you will be stagnant for life. You don't stop, you just slow down. Because some like then I could remember some women were like, no, why should I go for further studies? Wait, let these boys grow up. Me, I was like, they can't grow up. At least that one I'm sure. As a daughter, I know that I didn't grow up. Even up to now, I've not grown up. So I can't say that. How long will I wait? So the only thing is that I have to make some changes. It's not easy. But then the only thing I can tell young mothers out there or young girls is being a mother will change everything about you, but don't stop. Just take it easy. Start moving at a
Yeah.
crawling pace. Yes, it's just like learning how to walk. Start from crawling, toddling, running. By the time they are old enough, you start running again. Yeah, that's
You know,
it.
I heard Michelle Obama, I heard her say some time ago that when she had her two daughters,
Mhm.
she had to put a hold on her career. She's
Yes,
very ambitious.
I
She's
know.
very ambitious. Yeah, but she said she looked at her husband and was like, that both of them can't leave these children. Somebody has to step down a
Something has
little.
to stay back.
Someone has
Yes.
to calm down a little to take care of it. And she had to do it for some years before she went back
Mm-hmm.
again. So yeah, so
Yeah.
definitely being a woman being a mother surely
That,
derails a lot of
being a mother is another job. It's just that nobody pays you. You understand?
yeah,
Motherhood is a job for life. So long as you have children and you are alive and you are a mother, is something for life. Even right now, at my age, I still sometimes go home to stay with my mother because I need that care. You understand? And when I go to her house, she cooks for me. Like, you understand? So motherhood is not something you will say that I will just do it for some years. No. Once you start, you've started. So before you go into it, be sure of what you're going into. Don't just jump into it. It's for life. Anything that
yeah,
at a certain stage, yes, it gets lighter. The workload gets lighter, but it is still there.
yeah. Okay. So the next question I wanted to ask, I think you've already answered it when you said the men just get up and then they are on their own on the move. I wanted to ask you if you think life would have been easier if you were a man.
If I'm a man, if life would have been easier. Anyway, I'm
Yeah,
not a man and I can't say, but I know that men have their own challenges. A man that wants to be a man is not those ones that don't want to hold responsibilities. I know that
yeah,
being a man from what I've seen is not actually easy. If a man decides to be the breadwinner, hold the responsibility, carry out whatever the society gave to him is not easy. For instance, a woman your career is not really for you to provide maybe everything for the family. You are there to support. And the man is the one that should make sure there is accommodation, there is feeding, there is clothing. You understand? The woman is just there to support. As in, I'm talking about an ideal family. So
Yeah.
me being a man, I've never thought of it, but I don't think I want to be a man. Seriously. Yeah, well,
Okay.
I never really looked at. Yes, I know that as a woman, I have some setbacks, some societal issues. But then I don't really see myself as being incapacitated because I'm a woman. The only thing
Okay.
I know is that I wasn't really planned. I wasn't really prepared. Sorry, I wasn't really prepared to move into the society to build a place for myself. If I had that opportunity from the word go, I wouldn't have
Early
wasted some
stage. Yeah.
time here jumping from one career to another. So being a man now, I don't wish for that. I don't know why. I don't
Yeah. It's not easy. It's not an easy job anyway. It's not an easy thing to be.
at
It's not
all.
an easy thing to be. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I like you said, you've moved from career to career, right? So you
Yeah.
literally been doing things to find out more about yourself, to discover your strengths and know where to set your foot in, right? So
Yeah.
can you share with us some of the things you've had to do in these pursuits of success, right? Some of the
Mm-hmm.
deliberate steps you've taken to make sure that, despite the distractions, despite the commitment of being a mother and, having other responsibilities on the side, what have you done, like deliberate steps you've taken to make sure that you're
Okay.
climbing the ladder of success one step at a time?
Okay. Anyway, my pursuit for success started immediately after my NYSC. I did my service in Zamfara. And then before I even finished, some people came to me and was like, they are looking for that got recommendation from the school I served in that they need an English lecturer in Federal Polytechnic, Mother. But then I didn't like Zamfara. It's far north, and the weather condition, the restrictions, you understand. I didn't really. It's not an option. So I rejected the offer. That time I thought that it's not just to come home, pick up a job. For me. Then I came back home, started applying for jobs, started jumping from one interview to another. It wasn't. Oh my God! All the savings I had finished during the interview job search period. So by the time I was at my last penny was when I met one of somebody from Okusa as well that was working with Mary's brothers. It was like, that they are looking for an English teacher there too. I just checked that was like Mary's is mission something. Can I work with these people? But then I didn't really have much money at me. So I decided to take that step. I went there. It was me and one other guy. So the interviewers, I scored high, but like I said, this bias of a thing, they weren't comfortable with picking up a woman when there is a man. So they gave the job to the guy. He stayed 2 months and left. But by then, one the principal of Mary's Brothers in Inteje was the first person that interviewed me. He didn't want me to go. He saw something that the other people didn't see. So he was like that he needs a secretary, that I should come, that he would recruit me as a secretary. The board rejected it because then they were like, I'm overqualified. But this man was like, no, that he needs this person working with him. So I picked up the job. It wasn't paying much anyway, but the exposure, you understand. And I even made some friends from there that we are still in contact now. So when I left that job, I left it because of marriage, went to Ibadan, faced another hell. I worked with seminary, one minor seminary for some months and left. That was shortly before I gave birth. And after that, oh my God, to come and get another job, it wasn't easy because I was already a mother. People will go like, no, a mother, a young mother with breastfeeding, you're breastfeeding a child. No, madam, when you win this child, So I, at a stage, I had to enroll with one computer networking school that's with this missionary brothers, what do you call them again? Dominicans. So I just, picked up one or two things on networking. I'm not using it right now anyway, but I had this exposure into that you can do things from home and make money. That was like 10 years ago. I don't really understand what it is saying, but it's something that built up a foundation for me later. So when I moved to Abuja from Ibadan to join my husband, I faced another hurdle. That one is a different case altogether. But I had to start with I had to start teaching in another school, and of course, my boss was one of my best friends. She's still my best friend to date. So there was when I realized that for me to move forward, I need to, you know, go for further studies. But then there was no finance. And I know I equally needed to get more skills. But then with the help of my family, I enrolled for this Open University to do public administration. It was during that process that federal job came out. And the because I was already in higher further studies as in postgraduate whatever school, I had they now gave me a position that is higher than what I was supposed to attain. And, I don't regret it today, even though then it wasn't easy. So I
Yeah.
now moved down to Enugu. When I came down to Enugu, when I realized again that my salary as a civil servant, lecturer as well, cannot provide everything. I mean, sometimes I ask myself, what if we go on strike and government doesn't pay us? Can I, how do I sustain the house? How do I take care of the children? So I need to add another skill. That was when I now had to start going from part-time lecturing to another, like I said about the one of night school. Um, but then during the process, I met an old classmate. He's a lecturer. He's now serving professor in one foreign school. I was like, come, I need part-time lecturing. He now said, Ozioma, you that I know. No, you don't need part-time lecturing. What you should do is that you're already a lecturer. Go and groom yourself in research. Start doing research, start writing, start drawing attention to yourself, that if I start jumping from one part-time lecturing to another, that I will be busy marking scripts when others are doing research. And by the time others are growing, I am where I am. So I came home that day, I thought of it, and you understand. So doing research is very expensive, which is something I cannot really afford. But there is something he said that caught me. He said, make yourself seen, be visible. You understand? Let people see you. So what did I do? I had to go back to my LinkedIn page, which I have forgotten, pick it up again, rescrub it, started making sending connection invitation. And then I met someone that needed a writer. He wasn't paying me anything per se, nothing. Let me not even say it was just end of the month. You just give me a token, to like say that it's for data. So, but then it was from that blog that I noticed that people can pay you to be a writer. So I started working on my writing skill, attending free online courses, especially from things like Udemy. And
Yeah.
yes, there's another course like that I use as well. So I was working on content writing as well as academic writing. So people that were reading that blog, because the man allows me to publish not as a ghostwriter but with my name. So people were now reading the blog. I believe that with time, because I wrote for him for like 2 years with nothing. You understand? Sometimes it doesn't just have to be about the money. So people
Wow.
now read the blog and will now reach out to me, maybe to ghostwrite books, assignments, and even one foreign firm that I ghostwrite for right now is from there. You understand? So it is, and with time I had to enroll for my master's, continue working on myself. Is expensive, to improve, to get skills, to widen your horizon is not cheap. Sometimes you may not even have enough money to take care of yourself, but you know where you're going to. So, like right
Yeah.
now, if I tell you the number of works I have on my desk,
Wow.
because people have seen, some of my works and they are ready to pay anything just to get me do the works for them.
Yeah.
So that's so far, yes. And then for my lecturing career, of course, that one is moving gradually. I've not gotten the like I'm doing my PhD, but I'm still working on it anyway. It's still in the process, but I know I'm getting there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Whew. Wow. Wow. Like I love the way you know how you told your story step by
Mm,
step, step by step. Yeah. And I know I learn a lot from storytelling, and I know I picked a couple of things, a
yeah.
couple of tips. So anybody that is smart listening to this story should be able to pick a couple of things you've done in between. And that's mostly how our sections are. If you've been joining us from March, we don't come to give you 5 things you should do, 10 things you should do, 3 things you should do. We share people's real life stories so that it gives you a cue on how to also handle your own unique situation. So some of the
Mm-hmm.
things I know I picked up from what you said is, the commitment to actually grow.
To
That's the
grow.
first thing. The commitment to the not giving up attitude, right? Despite you said you
Yeah.
spent all your savings from NYSC, it was when you had the last it was when you had the last penny, and you got the job you got, the first job you
Yeah.
got, and it wasn't even what you aspired to do, but you
For
took
at
it after
all.
all. You
At
took it
all.
after all, and then as you took it, and then you were still hoping for the best. So, but
Mm-hmm.
most times women tend to give up a lot easily,
I agree.
especially in this our generation. Yeah, because we know we have the option of marrying a rich man. I don't know
Mm,
why the society has put that inside of us, but because we know we have that option, most of us give up very easily. We just
yeah.
try small. We feel like it's not working, and then we just drop it. But I like the way you persisted and you continued. You kept looking
Mm-hmm.
for, searching for opportunities. Even while you were breastfeeding, you were still searching for opportunities. That's the first thing that really hit me, the commitment to succeed. And then the second thing again that I know that really caught me was you know trying to improve yourself,
Yes,
trying to
very, very
improve yourself.
necessary.
Yeah, trying to improve yourself, knowing that, okay, yeah, I know I have this degree, but I could do better. I could do
Sure.
better. I can learn more skills. I can get another degree. I can do this, just so that you earn more, and then you are also doing great. And then the last thing I like is, that advice that man gave you about being visible. A lot of
Yes.
us, a lot of us, me inclusive, we shy away from social media. Social media, to be honest, let's face facts, it's exhausting,
Mhm.
it's tiring, it's another job on its own, posting
Is there
and trying
another
to
thing?
follow up,
Yeah.
trying to catch up. They call it social media, but I don't think it should be called social media. There's nothing social about it. It's hard work.
It
It's
is.
hard work.
It is.
Apart from, I know it.
Yeah, the thing about social media is that it depends on why you are going there. Some people go there to just socialize, to
Right?
meet up,
Yeah.
yes. But like me, I go there to find gigs.
That's
You
another
know,
thing. That's another thing. That's another very important thing you just mentioned. Why you're going there is another reason, because I know I'm not really very personally, I'm not a social butterfly, I'm not that person
mm,
that likes to be all over the place. But because it's what you have to do, like you said, visibility is key.
it
Visibility
is.
is key. It's key. And no matter how brilliant, no matter how talented you are, if nobody is seeing you, if nobody is
Yes.
seeing what you're doing, nobody knows what you're doing. And what
Yes.
you cannot impact your world. People cannot benefit from that gift you have inside of you. So people need to see you first.
People need to see, people
And
need to see you, people need to know you, no matter how
people
small
need
the
to know
circle
you.
is, need to be
Yeah,
visible. Yeah. It's very,
yeah.
very necessary.
Yeah. So those are the things I know I really caught from there. So if you're a woman or a man in this section and you're watching, please endeavor, make up your mind that you're going to succeed no matter what happens, no matter how bad the situation is, you're going to make it in this life. Have it at the back of your mind. And then secondly, work on improving yourself. Don't say I'm a graduate and that is it. I'm a graduate and that is it. No, I mean the world is growing at a very fast pace. These days, university degrees begin to look like WAEC certificates, you know.
Yes.
People are
It's
getting, there are lots of certifications to get, there are lots of, just improve yourself, be up to date with what is happening, up to the trend, and then the last thing is be visible. Please do whatever it can and you can to let people see that thing you have. Okay, you've gotten that extra certification, you have that degree. It's not about making mouth, it's about saying, yes, please, oh, I have this. In case you need someone that can offer this, I'm here to help. Yeah, and
mhm.
that's that. So yeah, thank you so much for that story. Another thing I really want us to talk about is, let's talk about marriage. Right, so
Yes.
we've talked about motherhood, we've talked about career success. Let's
Mhm.
talk about marriage. So can you share with us what your marriage experience was like? Right,
Mm.
so is there anything you think, you really did right? When we talk about marriage experience, let me create a perspective. It begins from when you are waiting or searching, depending on the one you're doing, to when you finally get married, and then when you were there. I know a lot of people think, I feel a lot of people calculate marriage from, from the wedding day. Me,
Yes.
I feel like what you do even before, it's it actually has a lot of effects,
Actually,
you know, into
yes.
what happens when you're now inside. So, I mean, what do you think you may have done right and wrong in the process? So, assuming we have people who are single here, listening, what would you tell them, or what part of your story would you like to let them know?
Anyway, one thing I always tell people, like I know some young ladies, some single ladies that are afraid of marriage, is that when you are married to the right person, marriage is a very beautiful thing. Nobody should shy away from it. And when you are married to the wrong person, please know that marriage is not a do or die affair. Forget that issue of till death do us part. Please, if it's not working, walk away. Anyway, my own marriage was a mess. I wasn't lucky, you know. And there, I still, I don't know. It's still culture, Our society raises us. There's this thing they say, won't you do well? I hope everybody here is Igbo. Can okay, as in, you should be hardworking. Will a man marry you? You understand? So we are raised with this impression that if somebody marries you, the person is doing you a favor. Like you are lucky to find a husband. I can remember one lady that told me that in Ibadan. She was referring to one woman. She was like, this person that is even lucky to see who will marry her. So we have that thing at the back of our mind that if a man asks for your hand in marriage, the man has done you a favor, which is something that we need to reteach our daughters, even our sons, not making them feel that when you marry a woman, you've done her a favor. Anyway, my own is I didn't go into marriage knowing what to really want from a man. It was more like if you want to are a woman, you go in, you have to be humble, you have to endure. In short, I was taught that marriage is endurance, you have to manage. So it was not like no matter what a man does, you have to bear it. And most of the times, if a woman manages her home very well, the home will not break. You understand? So we were instilled with a lot of fallacies. I'm sorry I'm using that word. A lot of lies that made it look like a marriage only works when the woman makes it work. So when I was going into marriage, it's not as if I didn't see the telltale sign of the man not really having issues. But because I was already told, or rather, I was already instilled with the ideology that once a woman knows how to soft pedal, how to be submissive, extremely submissive, that the home will not break. And if the home breaks, it's the fault of the woman. So I ignored those things, or rather, I believe, no, he will change. there is no problem. Now, it's the woman. I will go there. I will do my best. You understand? I went in there believing that things would turn out right, ignoring the the danger signs. So, and when I now got in there and started seeing the other side of marriage, I still continued blaming myself. Of course, that blaming myself is not just now because of the culture. It probably has to do with the case of the man. Heaping it on me. Everything is your fault. He's not working. Is your fault. He has an issue. Is my fault. You understand? So I stayed in there believing everything is my fault. I even had to go down to depression. You understand? So it was when I even moved down east, um, when this job came out, that I realized that honestly I was almost dying in that marriage. So when I moved out was when I started receiving, you know, fresh air again. That was when I started breathing again. So marriage is a beautiful thing when the two partners make it work. But if only one part, maybe it's the man that is doing his best to make the marriage work and the woman is the demon, or the woman is the saint and the man is the demon, I don't think that marriage is not working. So a woman, you see, some people will say courtship. Courtship doesn't really tell you how your marriage will be. Yes, it may give you a glimpse, but until you know what you want from a marriage, from a man, until you know what you don't want from a man, you will still go in there. Even if you see the telltale sign that you're going into hellfire, you will still go in there because you already believed, it's already instilled in you that you will make it work, as like you will do the magic. A woman will change a man, even if the man is a demon. A good woman will change it. So we need to reteach all those things. We need to, I don't know, our mothers need to work on our sons and our daughters as well. If a person is problematic, please let the person stay in his or her father's house and not go into another person's house to make life unbearable for the person. That's all I can say for now.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Wow. So there's one thing I really picked from here that is making me not like that. That was making me not like that. When you said without knowing what you want and what you don't want,
Mm-hmm.
knowing what you want and what you don't want. Because if not, you won't even know when you're taking nonsense from people. You won't even
Exactly.
know when you condition yourself to manage the negative situations, right? Just like you said, you say,
Mm-hmm.
when we get there, you can when you do your magic as a superwoman, you make things work out
Mm-hmm.
somehow things will work out.
Out,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I think that is just the key thing in everything you talked about. Knowing what you want as a person and knowing what you don't want.
Mm-hmm.
And I would also like to chip in something that knowing what you want and what you don't want first begins with knowing yourself,
Yeah.
understanding yourself, knowing who you are as a person. You know, as a woman, if you understand your worth, it's not like what they taught us that when a man is marrying you, the person is doing you a favor. If you understand that both of you are helping there to do each other a favor, both of you are there to do
Yes.
each other a favor, that you
Mm-hmm.
you have you have your value as well. The man has his
Mm-hmm.
value as well. So you deserve to be respected. The man also deserves to be respected. When you
Yes.
understand all these things and then you look at the person you are thinking about, does this person have this understanding as well? Does this person have
Mm-hmm.
this mind? Does this person fit into the picture I have for myself? Then if the
Yeah.
answer is no, you run.
You're
If
on.
the answer is no, you run. Period. Yeah, so I think that was just what stood out for me. You know, knowing what you want and what you don't want, and making a decision to demand for what you want and walk away from what you do not want.
It's
Yeah,
necessary.
yeah. So
Very, very necessary. Don't tell yourself that the person will change
no,
because somebody that didn't change until he got married or she got married, you may not change again. And even if the person is going to change, maybe it's after something tragic happens, and you wouldn't want to experience that. So let
Yeah,
whoever, everybody should work on his or herself, him or herself, and before going into marriage. It is not
yeah,
marriage is not a rehabilitation home. You understand? It's supposed to be a partnership where two adults that are mentally capable of handling the responsibilities that come with marriage should come
yeah.
together and then now work together to build a home.
Yeah, so talking about marriage being a rehabilitation home, not being a rehabilitation home, and talking
Yes.
about marriage being a place where people who are mature, mentally and psychologically mature enough to come together for partnership. I
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you a question. Do you think age is an important factor when thinking about marriage? So I know I was in a school, I think few weeks ago, and what the vice principal of the school was asking me what we do with Sisters Ally Foundation. So after explaining everything to him, and our fight against teenage pregnancy, early marriage, and all. So someone
Mm-hmm.
there was a lady sitting there now asked, so who is a teenager? So what's the range? I said a teenager is from someone that is 13, of course, to 19. That's a
Mm-hmm.
teenager. Yeah, and so she was like, but that there are some girls now that prefer to get married early. There are some girls that want to get married early, 18, 17, that's their
Yeah.
choice. Yeah, I said,
Mm-hmm.
my dear, I'm not saying anybody's wrong or right, but I know that there are girls that that's not their choice. That's not what they want for themselves. Some of them do it because of conditions. It's like when your hands are tied, you don't know what else to do. It's like an escape route, you know, to get to do this. To be able to, some of them, I know people that got married because the man promised to send them to school.
Yes.
Getting married early was never in their agenda. They just wanted, because they felt like, okay, this person will send me to school, or this person will do this or do that, and so I was like, the only reason why we are fighting this is for those people who do not want to yet, who want to go to school, who want to, make a living for themselves first before getting into marriage. Yeah, so but I
Yes.
want you to talk about this thing. Do you think there's an appropriate, do you think age affects readiness for marriage, especially with respect to women?
Um, some like in my village, you have been there. Some girls,
Yeah,
I think it has to do with the culture of the people there. As in, they are seeing other people, they got married immediately after, or even before they finish secondary school, and they feel that it's a norm. There are people like that. They don't understand. Like one girl was telling me then that how can she go to university? By the time she finished, she's already old. And being old, she's talking about it like being 21. She was like, by then she's old. Who will marry her? So it is norm in some places for people to get married before the age of 18. Some even marry at 16. But then as a young girl, I don't know, as a young girl, you want to look at these teenagers. That's 16, 17, 18 is the time a woman starts looking beautiful. You understand? That's the when she starts experiencing her beauty. That's the when she wants to be with her friends, just laugh. She doesn't need to shoulder responsibilities. A lot of girls are going to marry without knowing the responsibilities attached to it. So some of them don't really know what marriage is all about. Some may move in, and when they have the first, second child, when you see them, you pity them. So concerning age, I don't think somebody that is as young as 18 should be given a responsibility to manage a home. She can't run a home. I don't know. Is running a home here is not just about cooking, sweeping, washing plate. You have to make decisions. And a man that is bringing in a young girl of that age into what does he want? Somebody that will cook for him, a bedmate. As in, does he actually want? If he dies tomorrow, can that lady manage his children? Can that lady manage his business? As you understand, or is he expecting that if anything happens to him tomorrow, his brothers will inherit her? So a young girl is not supposed to hold that responsibility. That is my own. And I think anatomically, as in the reproductive system doesn't get ready Yes, the woman may be menstruating and all, but I think a woman that gives birth before the age of 18 or something can have VVF
Yeah.
also. I know that it is, yes, viscular something something. I know that it is common. So, but then my own is this. As an adult, as I am here, there are some responsibilities that will come to me, and I'll feel overburdened, even with my age, experiences, and all. So, what will it be like for a child to have that kind of responsibility? Can she manage? Can she hold it? Or will the man marry her and take her to his parents? So, when it comes to age, for me, a woman should get married when she at least 23, 24, 25 for me is ideal. By then, she already knows what it means to take decisions. Her head has already like calmed down a little bit. She has, seen life a little, enjoyed herself a little. Not she will get married at the age of 18, and by the age of maybe 25, she will start feeling old among her peers. When she comes out and she's already worn out, and some of her peers that didn't get married are looking fresh, she'll feel that, so I don't know. We need to let these girls know. You are going into marriage, yes. It's not just about going into a man's house. He will be giving you money. You just go to market and cook. No. There are more things there that people cannot explain to you until you go in there. It is a heavy load. Marriage is not something light. And if the lady is married to a man that cannot take care of her, a man that abuses her, that's, I don't know. I don't know. I don't
It's
know. For me,
a disaster.
yes, you understand.
A
So
disaster.
I believe somebody should be capable, in all ramifications. 18 is still too young. 18 is not the students we have that sometimes they are talking in the class, they are still playing. What will a child be doing, giving birth to another child and nurturing that child? I don't know. It works for some people, you understand. Yes, most people get married at that age, and of course they stay. I know a lot of people that maintain their homes, and their husbands will say they don't have issues. But when you talk to that woman deep down, you find out that it got to a stage she started regretting getting married early. Most of them that I know, most of them, they will voice it out, but it will be as if to say, I'm already there, I'm already there, let me continue. And sometimes this issue of extramarital affairs amongst women equally has to do with getting married early. It will get to a level she will feel like I didn't enjoy my youth. When she's maybe like 40, she will feel cheated. And then she will now look at young boys and feel like, that the time I was supposed to be having boyfriend was when I now married this old man. She'll start looking, you understand? I don't know if you get me. She'll now start looking at those boys like, it's time for me to enjoy what I didn't enjoy during my time. But if she had grown up, seen that there is nothing in all those stages in life, if she's going into marriage, she's going into marriage to carry responsibility, and every other part of those life she will leave behind. So please, I think what you should start doing is letting those girls know what it means to get married. It's not about doing wedding, wearing fine clothes, the man buying clothes for you. There are other responsibilities in the house that she needs to know what it is before she goes in. So age matters a lot.
Wow. Whew. Okay. Yeah, that's that. So let him who has ears hear. Let him who has ears hear. We've been saying it and we are saying it again. And thank God you've also hit the nail on the head of the hammer of the nail. Yes, you've already hit the nail on the head. I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah, people get the point. Okay, so we are rounding off now. We're rounding off. Could you share with us some of your goals, your visions, your plans for the future?
Mhm. My major plan is setting up my boys. I need to see them be real men, the kind of men that are responsible, that will be able to understand how things work around Nigeria. I want to raise entrepreneurs anyway. So I'm hoping to see them establish their own businesses, start running their things. And then as they leave home, I need to set up a very good retirement plan. I wouldn't want to depend on pension like I'm seeing some civil servants do, So because of it, I work towards like is maybe let me say the next 5 years. I hope to have attain a level of my profession and even my writing institution. I've already opened one, but it's still not functional. So I'm hoping to have a writing institution where I will groom other writers that maybe will work with me, or if they want to work on their own. And then that should be my goal for next 5 years. Then in 10 years' time, I'm hoping to see the company taken over by maybe one of the boys. I know they may be too young by then, but I want them to, help me to manage the company as they are doing their own if they want to go into entrepreneurship. But my goal is to introduce them to that aspect of life. So that is it. Building my career and having my boys take their place in the world. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, that's nice. That's nice. Like it's well thought out. You really thought about it. You really given it a lot of thought. Yeah, but I
Yes.
think I just really I wanted to chip in something based on what you answered. I hope you're going to consider if these boys have interest in these things that like the plans you've laid out for them. Like it's not something you're compelling them to do. It has to be something they have interest
No,
in.
no. Like one thing I've been doing with them is studying them. Like my first
Yeah.
son, I know he's going into anything automobile. I've even discussed with him. Um, he has in short his interest is cars, so I know that he's going anything that has to do with cars. So I don't know, I hope that by the time maybe 4 years time I will enroll him into a good mechanic workshop where he will learn, the skill. As he's going into university, let him know what he's going into study, not to study to
Mm.
come and work for someone, but to study to, improve, build something. So he has that interest. I don't have to know now. I don't have to tell him
Yeah.
that. Then the second one is the one that is still, he's everywhere now. So I know that he's not into that auto mechanic, whatever, but he's into everywhere. He's a teacher, he's a doctor, he's a lawyer. You understand? So he's one I'm still learning. But from what I've seen him do, he's already a writer. He loves telling stories and he loves writing, even if he's still not putting everything together. But I'm seeing that aspect of him. And anyway, let him continue to grow. I may groom him into academics because most of the time when people when people are that multifaceted, they are everywhere. Academics works for them more. So I may push him into it. I don't know, but let him continue growing. I can't decide. But then when it comes to the way Nigeria works, if they're going to stay in
Yeah.
Nigeria, I noticed that for you to make it in Nigeria, you have to be an entrepreneur. This is one thing that we didn't learn. We are
Yeah.
being to go and work for people. But I noticed that the people that are making it, people that are happy, people that are comfortable in Nigeria, people that have their own businesses. So I would like to introduce them to that. If they decide later that no, we don't want that, we want to work for people, fine. You understand? But at least let me do the much I can for them. I don't even have time to start pushing people into anything. No, everybody should have. But what
Yeah.
I'm not going to mistake I'm not going to make is leaving them to stay planless. No, I didn't have anybody guiding me. So I'll do my best to guide them. At least they have to know the careers around that they can
Yeah.
use their talent for. Yes,
Yeah.
and how they can work towards it. So that
Yeah.
by the time like 15, 16, they should know what they want and start working on their own towards it.
They are very blessed to have you. They are very blessed to have you, to be honest, because that's the problem most of us had. We had people who loved us. We have our
Mm.
parents who love us. We have people around us, our teachers and all who love us. But many of them did not have the idea of what it means to really guide somebody career wise based on
Yeah,
your strengths. Based on your
yeah.
strengths, what our parents were doing was, everybody's a doctor. Doctors are the ones making it. Engineer, lawyer, you have to be one of these things. If you're intelligent, you're a doctor. If you talk too much, you're a lawyer. Yeah, so
Yes,
but it's important that people have someone who really understands where they are going and
it's
all. Yeah,
necessary.
so mm,
Yeah,
yeah, so I mean, it's really, they are very blessed. They are really blessed to have you.
yeah.
Yeah. So this is the last question. So assuming we have different women at different places, or men, because I've noticed we have men here from the comments I'm seeing. So assuming we
Okay.
have different people at different places right now listening, we have teenagers, we have single adults, we have married people, divorced people, we have the senior citizens, our grandparents, them, and they are listening from different parts of the world at this point. So what is the one thing you would love to tell them, right? The one advice you would like to give.
Okay. Anyway, what comes into my mind now is that the utmost thing in life is to be happy, you know. And if you're going to be happy, please don't make another person sad for you to be happy. Do things that give you joy, but whatever you're going to do should please not affect another person. Like some people will say, whatever you do to make your ship float, no problem, so long as you don't try to sink mine. So that is one advice for everybody. But then for our men, I don't know. I still notice that some young men have this thing of a woman doesn't belong. Like somebody was saying the other time, why should a woman be a pastor? That the Bible said. I'm not the Bible anyway, and I'm not going into that. But please, if God created the two of us and our soul, you believe our soul doesn't have woman or man, please cut that bias. God that created you a man for a particular reason.
Yeah.
When he created a woman, he created her for a particular reason. It's not in your place as a man to tell a woman, no, that God made you to do this, that you shouldn't do that. No. And then, if you're a man and you still believe that a woman should not work, or that she should not own a business, or that her job is to sit down in the house and take care of your children and allow you to do things the way you want, please, I want to ask you, what if, God forbid, what if something happens to you tomorrow? What if that your business, that your job goes? Who is going to provide for those children? This is my own experience. You understand? What will happen? Is it, what if you die? Will your brothers come and take over your business and then be giving stipend or nothing to your wife? Have you ever asked that question? And you as a woman, you are comfortable. Of course, I don't blame women sometimes because some married men that will not allow them to, come out. But I know some men that are complaining that their wives don't want to do anything. I know a lot of men complaining that. So if you are a woman and you are the one that doesn't want to stress yourself, I didn't say stress is not good though. But then ask yourself, what if something happens to the breadwinner tomorrow? What if he even marries another woman? If yeah, that is what we have to consider because sometimes men they can get distracted. What if he
Yeah.
gets distracted and that's you and your children are neglected? What is your plan? You understand? And then you as a single lady, this is your chance. This is your opportunity to pave a way for yourself. Once the children start coming, you are going to be Oga go slow, Abi Madam go slow. You are going to watch life running away from you and you are trying to catch, but that little child is dragging you. So use now to run that race, at least get to a point so that by the time the children start coming, if you slow down, you would have put a lot of things in place and you know where you're going to. But if you're directionless when the children comes, we are in trouble. So please start now to don't say that you are single that you want to get married first before you do anything. Now allow you enter another trouble. No, let me not say trouble, but you enter another part of life that will not give you that chance. For instance, you're a married woman and there is a conference in Cotonou, you will not go without your husband's consent. If you have a child, you will not go because you have to take care of the child, or you pack your child and go. You understand? So you have a lot of restrictions as a mother, as a wife. So now that you are still single, use that status to pave a way for yourself. Then, if you are young, please don't wait till you get old to start investing, to start saving, to start planning. Now that I'm 41, there are some things I can do for myself. There are some things I will do, and my body will go like, come, go and sit down and rest. I can no longer do, strain myself. It's like that, from what I understand. Once you get to the fourth floor, life slows down. So now is the opportunity. Plan for yourself. What is your plan? If you don't have a plan, sit down today. Start writing everything that comes into your mind. And this one is for everybody, except the senior citizens. If you are still making money, please sit down today. Map out 5 years plan. Like this is 21st May 2022. By 21st May 2027, what is my plan? Where will I be? What am I going to achieve? And then what will it take me to achieve it? Like I said earlier, it is not cheap improving on yourself at all. You can take anything. You may have just 1 naira in your bank account because you have to pay for a particular thing, but that is the investment I know. So be ready to invest on yourself. That phone that is 300,000 you want to buy, please wait first. Go and think of a skill that you will pick up today. Go and think of something you're going to pay for that will help you to generate money tomorrow. Unless you're buying that phone to use it to make money, please don't. What is the essence of buying a phone when you can use it to increase your income? I mean, this is me anyway. So for now, please start planning. Tomorrow, when you retire, you don't have to wait for government to drop one naira into your plate. Pension does not do anything at all. Forget that thing they tell you about pension. It doesn't do anything. I may have to wait for 2-3 years before it starts coming. What is your plan? What are you going to do within those periods before you even start seeing your pension? What if your children are still in school? What is your plan? So please, today, wherever you are, set your 5-year goal today and start working towards it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We've heard you. I've heard you. And I believe every single person on this section has heard as well. Again, like I said, let those who have ears hear. Let those who have ears hear. Yeah, so that's the end for today. Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you very much, Ma. I don't know, for those of you who are just joining, this is my big sister. She has been my mentor since 20, 2017 when I went to do my service in Okuzu. And she has been a very huge blessing. She has been a very huge blessing to me. And that was why I decided to bring her on board so that she can share her wealth of knowledge and experience with us. She's a lecturer, she's a writer, she's a mom, and she's a friend. Yeah, so again, thank you very much, Ma, for joining us. I'm very, very grateful. God
You're
bless you.
welcome. You
Yeah,
too.
and talk about the boys. And for everyone and for everyone who joined us on this section, it's truly, truly a pleasure to have you. Thank you. And we'll come your way again next month. We'll see you in June. And you're going to come with another blockbuster. Hopefully, in June, we'll be talking more about business, talking more about entrepreneurship, finance. We're going to bring on someone who has really journeyed and who is also succeeding in her entrepreneurship journey. Yeah. So that's that. And we'll see you again next month. And like I said, this is a product of Sisters Ally Foundation. So until we come your way again, my name is Ebere Owe, and it's really a pleasure to have you. Bye. See you.
Right?